All right, so Elon Musk loses the bid to get $56 billion payday package, bro. Reinstated. The CEO, Elon Musk, lost his bid to get his 2018 co-pay package reinstated on Monday when a Delaware judge upheld a prior ruling that the compensation plan improperly granted. The package was worth about $56 billion, was the largest compensation plan in U.S. history for a public company executive. Bro wanted $56 billion, cuz. My thing is, he not gonna take this lightly. He not gassed. He's not gassed about this, Jose.
How could they
How could they what?
stop him from getting, you know what I'm saying, his money?
Well,
They tried last time.
so
Because like when you even got this up, I'm like confused at first. I was like,
they put a compensation plan in place. He has to hit certain metrics, right? And so, you know, bro, like I want my bread. Now, here's what I'm gonna tell you. The next time our Tesla option turns green, I'm getting out of it. I'm getting out of it.
Why?
Huh? Yeah. I'm gonna get out of it.
Why?
I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Like, he the type of person that's like, oh, y'all, bet. You don't want to give me my money? Bet. Bet. Say less. I'm going to get my get back. He the type of person to get his get back. I don't need you to get your get back with my money. Somebody said he's electrified. Yeah, I'm going. It's gonna turn green. We got until April, but when it turns green, I'm gonna get out. And if it runs more, it's cool. But I don't trust the way he played the game. Y'all don't trust the way. Shout out to Steve because he got the perfect picture. I don't trust the way he played the game, dog. Like he on some, oh, y'all don't want to give me my money? Okay. And before we know it, now the stock at $10. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be done sold 100 million worth.
Right. He opened up another business.
He done open up another. And then listen,
the robots.
SpaceX is his other company. It just got valued at I think $350 billion. That's the satellite company. Yeah, he got them out there. He got 1/3 of the satellites out there already. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm straight. Like when that call turned green, I'm gonna probably get up out of there. I don't trust him. I don't trust what he's willing to do. Dude got another company that's worth $350 billion. They just did a tender offer. Bernard, tell him what a tender offer is. That's when we go get some more bread, basically.
I'm about to say, I ain't never heard of that, John.
So a tender offer is when you say, hey,
offer.
when you go to the people and say, hey, I want to get some bread because we're going to do some stuff to grow the company a little bit more. Now watch what happens when he take that company public. Because it's a separate entity from Tesla. Remember, he was taking Tesla money to put into that. Oh, I just read something the other day that said if Bill Gates would have never sold some of his Microsoft shares, he would be a trillionaire right now. He sold his shares in 1999. No, 2019. 2019. He sold like a bunch of his shares to do something with. You know, Bill Gates always trying to take over the world on the cool. Man, y'all don't know that. Y'all crazy. Like nobody don't own more land in America than Bill Gates.
I want you to watch the series Madness also.
I'm not watching that.
It's The old boy from Fear the Walking Dead,
I'm
but
not
it's
watching
basically about the corruption that goes on at super high levels.
I'm not watching that.
Hey, you gonna like it.
I'm not watching that.
Madness.
I'm not watching that. I can only watch one show at a time. I'm watching Yellowstone. After Yellowstone, I gotta go to Landowner.
Season 6, got
After that, I gotta go. I have enough capacity
I feel you.
for one group of mindless activity. Right? One set of mindless activity at a time. I can't overindulge. Because now I'm not using my vessel for its uniqueness, Jose. You trying to create another leak.
Nah, what I'm trying to do is giving them these people understand. Sometimes we might talk about these shows, and they might want to sponsor. Just for us to mention them, because we do them anyway. This episode of Trappin' Tuesday brought to
Somebody
you
say
by
76 million shares. Tesla is always the most shortest stock, and the people always lose. That's the thing about it. We put it up I think it was when the stock rallied. $5 billion in money was lost in one day. So, Bernard, that's something we're going to do too. We're going to bring in an M&A. Once we get our structure all the way right, we're going to bring in a business broker. And a business broker is going to that's why LaShawna and Bernard got to make sure we got everything lined up, because they're going to come in, me, LaShawna, and Bernard, we're going to get everything lined, and they're going to give our business, they're going to say, this is what your business is worth. As if you was going to sell it. So you get a business broker to come evaluate the whole business. Now, to go public, you got to go to what's called an underwriter. And I broke that down on a Patreon call. So what an underwriter does is an underwriter come in from JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, or Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is my one. They'll come in and look at the entire business, top to bottom, pick the hood up. They going from the alternator to the rooter to the tooter, like we say in the hood. You hear me? And they say, hey, this is what this company is worth. So they say this company is worth, $350 billion, right? So then they're gonna say, okay, the company's worth $350 billion. How much of this company do you want to put on the market? And then you say how much you want to put on the market, and then from that point, they'll, depending on how much you want to put on the market, they'll say, okay, here's the shares. Shares will be this price. And then he'll say, okay, well, if the share's that price, I want to buy $3 billion worth of shares of this company at that price. And then, so now, once it goes to those people, it goes to the secondary market, which is the stock market. Once it goes on the market, we get to buy the shares. But once we get to buy the shares, the company no longer has anything to do with that, because now that money they got for the underwriting goes to them to build the business. So once the underwriter says this is how much the company is worth, they can say, okay, this is what the company is worth. Once they sell those shares, that money, the initial money goes to them, and then the shares now is on the market. The company don't get that money. That's why you see companies doing secondary offerings. So when a company does a secondary offering, remember I said, once they tell you how much the company is worth, and you say, I'm gonna put this much of the company on the market. So when you go do a secondary market, they say, okay, so let's say you take and put 50% whiteboard, right? And so let's say this is the company. And so this 250 billion. 200 billion for the whole company. This is everything. This is all the company assets. That's everything that the company has. Right? You with me on that, Jose? Y'all tapped in on that? All right, cool. So now what happens is the person says, how much of the company do you want to put on the market? You say, okay, check this out. I'm going to take half of it. Right? Now, what happens is this is 50% of the company. So this other 50% is not on the market. Right? And so now they take that and say, okay, we'll break this down into, because you put this much, so now you got 100 billion on the market. That make sense? That makes sense? And so now we'll take these shares, we'll take that 100 billion, and we'll take that and now break it down into pieces, and give you a price. So let's say the price is $50. We'll just give an example of $50. Right? We'll just give an example of $50. So that $50 will give them $50 times whatever give you 100 billion. So you have 20 million shares. Right? So now here's what happens. Now the market cap, now watch this. The business is worth 200 billion. But they put 100 million on the market. Hear me here. So that means the public now gets to buy into $100 billion worth of the business. Does that make sense? So that 100 billion now becomes the market cap. Right? It becomes the market cap. Now, if this stock goes up $100, then this company now has a $200 billion market cap. The company is worth more than that, but the market cap of the company is worth 200 billion. But if the stock goes down to $25, then now the company has a $50 billion market cap because it lost half of its value. Does that make sense? Right? Shares times share price gives you a market cap. So now let's say the company says, you know what? We want to do a secondary offering where we put another 25% of the business out there. So that means of that 100 billion it had left, now you got 50 billion. You put that back on the market, and now what you've done is you've diluted the remaining shares because you just went and took some more money from the business. You took another piece of the business to put back on the market. So you've diluted the original shares. You've added more shares on the market. So because that 50 billion, the company get to take that 50 billion, put it in their pocket to grow the business. In exchange for that, you don't take on no debt, and you give the everyday person an opportunity to buy some more shares into your company. Does that make sense? So now what the owners do is, the owners say, the owner and the company becomes two separate entities. The owner and the business is two separate entities. So here's how people become billionaires in the market. Elon Musk says, well, I'm going to just use Mr. C. We're going to use Mr. C. So this is Mr. C's company. Mr. C say, all right, check this out. Because my company on the market, it's a $200 billion company, I already probably got some bread. So I'm going to go take 10 million of my dollars, and I'm going to invest $10 million of my own money into my stock. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay myself $1 million a year, but I'm going to compensate myself stock compensation based on company performance. So every time my company do well and I hit certain metrics, I'm going to write it out in my compensation plan. The board of directors got to approve it. And once they approve it, every time a stock does a certain thing, every time a company does a certain thing, every quarter or every year, I'm going to give myself 100,000 shares. That's the board of directors is the people who they say anything that you do in the company, it got to go through them. So it takes the CEO from a certain position. So if you want to raise the dividend, the CEO can't say, I'm about to raise the dividend. It got to go to the board of directors. If the CEO say, I want to give myself a raise, I can't just give myself a raise. It got to go to the board of directors. If the CEO say, we want to do a company buyback, we want to buy back 50 million shares, I can present it to the board of directors, and the board of directors say, okay, yes or no. This is why you see certain people like Nelson Peltz fight to get on the board. Because when they get on the board, they're going to bring other people with them so they can steal votes. And if they can take votes, that's called a hostile takeover. It's called a hostile takeover, which is why when Nelson Peltz tried to take over Disney, what Bob Iger, what he did was he got on TV and said, oh, we winning the proxy battle. He wasn't supposed to do that. But because he said that, he won over people like BlackRock, State Street, because they were like, oh, you already winning? Well, we going to go this way. Why? Because nobody want to be on the bad side of a hostile takeover. Because if you're on the bad side of the takeover, now I'm going to get you out of here. So what they did was, because he said that, they voted for him. But had he not said that, they wouldn't have voted for him. They would have voted for Nelson Peltz. So watch this. When you do a secondary offering, you go to the board and say, hey, we don't want to take out a loan. We don't want to take out a loan. We don't want to go in debt. Let's do a secondary offering. So the board going to say, all right, how much you want to put out there? He can say 25%, how much money we need. And so the board, you go say, hey, I want to put 25% of the business out there. The board say, okay. Everybody say aye, say aye. Everybody say nay, say nay. Now, the crazy part about having a board and being in your own company is if you don't have the right board, they can kick you out the company.
Mm-hmm.
They can kick you out the company. That's why I'm not putting none of y'all on the board. Not none, probably you, G. I don't know, you might be holding something in your heart.
You and Elise. Elise on the board.
Elise on the board.
Elise is on the board.
Leah not on the board either. No. Leah not on the board. Never.
It never works out in the movies.
It never works out. You ain't see the people in Succession fighting for that board seat? I'm putting Elise on the board. Elise on the board. You might try to get me from when I was choking you when we was kids. And we were choking me? All votes to vote Trap out? Now I'm sitting there like, George, you like, you ain't sitting on Succession? They thought the sister was in. They was all in. She was the last vote. They were like, what you doing? She was like, nay. Them boys was broke. What? Gave them their little bread and kicked them out. Yeah, gave them their little bread and kicked them out. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving none of y'all that. Yeah, I hear you, yeah. That's the right time to get me. I'm old, cuz. Hit with the eye. He think, you got a granddaughter now. You think about setting her up. No, I can set my granddaughter up. I get that nigga off the board.
He's laughing right now.
Yeah, that's that laugh. Like, you right, nigga. You better not put me on the board.
Years from now.
Yeah.
Like, remember that Trappin?
He gonna be looking at his granddaughter like, yeah, I'm gonna get on that board. I'm gonna set you right, baby girl. They always plotting on Pharaoh, man. They always plotting on Caesar, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I hear you. You know what Bernard told me today? Bro, we can, it's $1 billion company. I said, yeah, he gotta go. He gotta go. He waiting to put that board together. I'm joking. But that's how I go though, y'all.